howtoflip.net, where real estate investors learn how to work on their business and not in it, with the motto, always work hard, but never forget to work smart.
Hey, what's up? So in this video, I'm going to talk about how you justify the price objection. So you're going to get an objection in this business, and mainly the sellers are going to object. They're going to object on the price, because the prices that we're trying to get these houses at are around under 65% or under 70%. So of the ARV. So what you're going to run across is they're going to say, like, I'm going to give you a scenario. Here's a scenario. You went through the presentation. You sat down with him. You've inspected the house. You spoke with him. You build rapport. You've done everything that I've talked about. And then now you're sitting on the kitchen table, and you tell him, hey, James on the phone told me that you were asking for $250,000. Is that true? And then he said, yeah, I'm looking for $250,000. So then I would say something like, based on everything we talked about, going through the house, the different things that I feel that need repair, we're probably closer to $200,000 than $250,000. Then he's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't do $200,000, $250,000. That's my lowest. And another house down the street. Now here's one objection they're gonna have. They're gonna say, hey, another house down the street just sold for $300,000. And then they're gonna say another house. Then another house sold in 2-3 days for $350,000. Now this is why you can use your low comps when you want to bring apple to apple low comps with you, and you want to tell them this is one way to object to that. You can say, hey, I know those houses sold at $350,000. I know that house sold at $300,000, and you, being the investor, you already did your homework coming in. So coming into the deal, coming into the property, you already did your homework, and you know about the houses that he's talking about. And you can say, hey, I know those houses sold. I looked at those before, and I know they sold at those prices, and they sold pretty quick. And this is why. It sold that fast because they were completely updated. They were updated to 2017 standards, and this house may be a little bit bigger than yours. It has a different layout. It has this. So, and then another thing is, as you can see here, or you don't have to show them the comps. Depending on how motivated this person is, you can say, hey, there's a house on the market right now about a quarter mile away, and you got to see it. You got to find houses like that so you can negotiate. There's a house a quarter mile away. You can bring it with you, the sheet. It's not a comp, but it's something that's already listed. And they're asking for 200. They're asking for 190, or they're asking for 200,000, or let's say they're asking for $225,000. It's the same exact house, built the same year, and it's in almost the same condition, maybe even a little bit better. And they're asking for 225, and you're asking for 250. I should go and buy that house. If you're asking for 250, why should I buy yours at 250 when that one is listed on the market for 225 and nobody has bought it yet? You see the contradiction? You won't say that. You won't say, hey, you see the contradiction, but in your mind, that's in their mind, they're thinking, oh man, you're right. So that's a way to handle that type of situation. And then after that, you can tell them, okay. And then they can say another one. They can say, oh, I bought it at this price, and I want to sell it. I bought it in 19 whatever. I bought it at 200,000, and or they can just say, I'm trying to make a certain amount. So typically, people who object on the price, it's either going to be there's a certain amount that they're looking to make, or they're looking to net. So there's a certain amount they're looking to net. So you can tell them, once you find that amount, and then you want to find why they want to net that amount. Why do you need that much money? So you can ask deeper questions. So asking deeper questions when you walk into their house and you go through the presentation, and it doesn't sound like you're prying them, because these questions have already been asked by your inside sales agent. And when you call them and say, hey, James said that this was your situation, you're asking for $300,000 because, or you're asking for $250,000 because I see here you said that you owe $150,000 and you're looking to net $100,000 to put into your new property that you're going to move into. Is that correct? Yeah. So you found out this guy wants $100,000, and then now you say, okay, let me see if we can even get close to that. Let me see if we can get close to $250,000. Let me go outside. Let me call my manager, or let me call my partner, and let me see if we're able to come to this price. So what you're doing right there is you're showing him that you're going to bat. You're going to war. You're going to war for him. So that scenario is me coming in as an outside sales agent, not as the investor. I'm coming in as a rep, as someone who is in the middle, and I need to ask someone else to get a second opinion to see if we can get the price that you're asking. So you're not saying no to his price, but you're going out, you're making a call to your manager, your partner, or somebody, and then you're coming back. And then when you come back, you say, okay, so I came back, and typically you want to offer them a really, really low ball. So the main thing you want to do, you want him to tell you his price first. If you already know his price from your lead sheet that your inside sales agent filled out on Podio, and then you came to the appointment already knowing how much you wanted, that's good. Then you can go and name a price. But if you don't know, you always want him to name the price. The first person to name the price is usually the person who loses in the negotiation. So you want him to name the price. If he doesn't name the price, you want to give him a low ball that disrespects him. Now, but you have to say it like this, so they say, oh, you know what, man, so here's a situation where they don't want to give you the price. You know what, man, I don't really know how much it's worth. Listen, man, I live in Seattle, Washington. This is the top prices. The average price for a house is about $400,000. That's a $400,000 transaction. He knows what he's doing. He has done some research, and he wants to sell his house, and he knows to some degree how much he wants. He's just playing with you when he says this stuff. So now he says, I don't know how much I need. I have no idea. I don't know. Or he'll say something like, you're the expert. You looked at it. You looked at the comps. You went through the house. You know how old it is. I gave you information about it. You should tell me how much it's worth. You got to do your calculations and find out how much it's worth. That's when you come to him and say, hey, man, after going through the inspection, looking at, I saw that your, the roof needs to be replaced. It hasn't been replaced since you moved in here. Electrical needs to be updated. We need to completely change the layout of the house. We need new flooring, paint the inside, outside. Plumbing is okay, but we couldn't. And then the foundation is a crack on the foundation. There's these different things. So based on that, we're probably around $200,000. So let's say we want to be at $200,000. So let's kind of circle back. Let's go back. Let's say the price we want to be at is about $215,000. That's the max that we can pay. Or let's take it up. The max that we can pay is $225,000. He's asking for $250,000. The max we can pay is $225,000. So that's why you want to come in extremely low ball. So his counter offer is right where you want to be. So you want to come in low ball, but you want to say, you know what, man, I know you I just want to get a ballpark. I just want a ballpark. Where are you at as far as the price? You can ask him questions like that. Questions that allow him to explain his reasoning or explain what he wants to do. You can say something like, hey, what's your ballpark? What's your ballpark price? I just want to know. I don't want to give you an offer that disrespects you. So I want to know exactly where you're at so I can see if we can meet you there. So he's going to say, yeah, and he still objects, and he still says, hey man, you need to give him the offer. He said, I'm based on it. So we'll go back to where, based on everything, based on this, I'm at 200,000, man. I'm at 200,000. What? I can't do 200,000. That's way too low, man. The lowest I can do is 225, and that's exactly where we want to be. It's halfway. Or let's say he says, you know what? I can't do it. I can do 200. I can do $240,000. Or let's say I can do 235. That's the lowest I can come down is 235. The lowest I can come down is 235. And then you say, okay, let me see. Let me give someone a call. That might be possible. You tell them that might be possible. Let me give someone a call. Let me go outside. Give my partner or give my manager a call. Let me see if we can do 235. And then now you come back and say, you know what? I was really thinking we can do 235, but we're not going to be able to do 235. But we can definitely do $225,000, and we can definitely do 225. We're going to close on or before the 13th. I just need your signature here, and I can get everything rolling. I'm going to turn this contract and earnest money into escrow today, right after this appointment. And here's my card. If you need any assistance, you can call us. Here's the card to our escrow agent. You can call the escrow agent, and any kind of questions you have, they can answer it. And they're gonna call you to set up a time for you to sign, and then all this is gonna happen. So, and we're gonna go ahead and close, and you're gonna walk away and start the new chapter of your life, or whatever is gonna be happening with him. So that's how you come to him. So he's going to be more reluctant to accept your price because he's going to feel like it's going to seem like, or it's going to look like you went to bat for him. You went out, you tried to figure it out, you went different angles, and then you came in at 225. And another thing you can say is like, you were at 250. I was at 200,000, but I met you halfway. You get what I'm saying? Can you meet me halfway? And then you can say, you know, typically in a transaction, any kind of transaction, for the transaction to go through, both parties have to have a meeting of the minds. Both parties have to be able to benefit. So here's an example. When you go to the grocery store, and you buy a head of lettuce, there's a certain price that the grocery store has to sell that lettuce to you in order for them to make a profit. Just like there's a certain price for you to buy that head of lettuce in order for it to meet your budget, but most importantly, there's a certain price that you need to buy it at, that justifies you buying it, so you can go home and fix whatever meal you want to fix, and you see that this is the budget to buy that head of lettuce, and this head of lettuce is going to fix, I don't know, you're going to make a burger or something, and you can justify paying this much for that head of lettuce because that burger is going to make you feel good. You're gonna enjoy the burger and whatever. I don't know, bad analogy, but you kind of get what I'm saying. It's a two-way street. For that transaction to happen, the buyer has to see the value in the head of lettuce, and the seller has to receive value from that head of lettuce. So the seller receives money and the buyer receives the product. And that product is going to give the buyer value, and that money is going to give the seller or the seller value, because they're in business to make money. Just like the buyer is in business to we're in business to make money. So that's kind of a long analogy, but I hope you understand kind of where I'm getting to. This stuff is all general. It's all situational. It's based on the personality type, based on the situation, based on the house, based on their mortgage situation, all these things. But hopefully this made sense. If you have any questions, please comment below.
Don't forget to visit howtoflip.net for training and up-to-date content that will increase your profitability because you increase your productivity. Also, remember to visit REIConnection.net, where real estate investors are more profitable because they collaborate instead of compete. And if you're looking to start doing a virtual wholesaling business, visit SeattleJVProfits.com. This way you can increase your monthly profits outside of your market. Once again, always work hard, but never forget to work smart. Subscribe to this channel today. We will have more updates available every week.